right, agents, welcome to another episode of the Anime Syndicate. So today I'm joined by Josh.
What's happening?
Not much, actually.
Interesting.
All right, so today's going to be we don't have this is not going to be about anime in general. This is going to be more about the culture.
Okay.
So my thing here is, we talked about a lot where anime is now mainstream.
Right.
So kind of want to talk about the whole cultural aspect of that. First being, comic books became mainstream with the first. Would you say Christopher Nolan's Batman movies or or Iron Man?
I really think Iron Man was the thing that fucking made it mainstream because
remember, it won movie of the year. It won.
What are you talking about?
Dark Knight.
Yeah. Oh, no. I'm not saying that those weren't.
But I'm just saying, like, it got accepted into the limelight before anything else. I don't even think Marvel movies ever won a movie of the year award.
Yeah. But that's not what you're asking me.
Right.
You're asking me which one do I think began the acceptance of comic books or those stories into the mainstream. And Dark Knight was not it, or Batman Begins or whatever. It was Iron Man. I feel like that was the first Marvel movie that Disney made. They had Robert Downey Jr.
He was a no name at the time.
Right, but it was the tone of the movie was a lot like Batman's dark, right?
Right. But remember, this is coming off at the time. The most popular the comic book movies were Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then the Batman's, not the original Batman movies, but the what's his name? George Clooney.
Yeah.
Batman's, the Shoemakers films.
Right, yeah. The Schumacher or whatever.
Yeah. The only dark movie that was around at the time would have been Blade. Which is I think it's the first or the only R-rated superhero movie out there.
Well, it was one of the first, yeah.
Yeah. I think it was the first, actually.
Possibly. I have to check that. We'll hear.
I think. I'm not saying for sure, but I'm pretty sure it is. Or at least it was the first one in the recent times. Not in a long ago.
Yeah, Blade was the first ever in 1998. The original Blade was the first
R-rated superhero movie, right?
Okay, so Darkman was the first R-rated superhero movie released, but Blade was the first Marvel one, and then basically
after that it was only Venom? No, not Venom.
Deadpool was the next one, I think.
Deadpool. Which is the third one going to be R since it's now under Disney?
Yeah. I think that they basically said that they're not going to change anything with it, which is smart. I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, yeah, okay.
I'm just saying because my thing for the Dark Knight trilogy is that because of the Academy Awards, because of it broke the mold of what superhero movies were back then. That even though now Batman movies just have to be dark now.
Right, yeah.
But back then, again, coming off of the Shoemaker movie, what do they say their name?
Schumacher? Yeah.
They were very campy and light. They were almost...
Yeah.
They were Adam West.
Right. They were cartoony.
Yeah. And then Spider-Man movies, sure, had its darky moments, but it wasn't very... What's the word? I guess edgy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying that that one did break that mold. Unfortunately, it made a permanent one in its place.
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying Batman needs to be more campy or stuff like that.
Right, yeah.
But, dear God, daylight does exist.
Yeah, true.
I did like that in the Dark Knight trilogy where in the daylight it was more always on Bruce Wayne. And at nighttime, that's when it was Batman. Yeah, it was cool. But I don't know, because they was able to achieve that academy notoriety,
right?
That more people were willing to accept comic book movies.
All right, so this is where I think that people were willing to accept Batman. People who watched that weren't clamoring for more comic book movies. Iron Man, once they popped that movie, that then made the mainstream want more comic book movies, which is how we ended up getting Thor and fucking the whole thing. Then we ended up getting Avengers. Like,
I think those were going to happen regardless because
I don't think they were.
Because Disney had just bought Marvel at the time. And
Right.
They needed to start making money.
Well, yeah, but Iron Man was the litmus test, and if Iron Man didn't make them money, I think they were just going to shit can the whole thing and go another route.
Disney won't do that. If Star Wars has proven that no, they're gonna keep throwing this thing against the wall until it sticks.
Yeah, but here's the problem though. Star Wars still always, all those movies made money. Every single one of those movies was profitable, right? If episode 7 would have made them no money or cost them money, I guarantee you 8 and 9 would have not gotten made.
But they're still doing their movies that they're making. And wasn't last year the first year they made no money?
What, Disney itself?
From the movie productions, at least.
Well, I mean, I don't know, maybe, but that's because of the COVID and the fucking that kind of fucked everything up. So
last year was not a COVID issue.
No, okay, but movies that would have probably been filmed in 2020 to 2022 would have came out in 2023. Now everything got pushed to 2025, 2024, 2025. Stuff that would have been filmed, because again, remember, it takes 3-4 years for the movie from when they film it till it actually gets released, because of all the shit.
Well, we're talking about just an animation as well, too, though.
Yeah, no, that's the same thing with animation. I mean, sure, animation's maybe a little bit easier because you don't have to have a whole production of people be in multiple locations. Like you're just animating it in one spot, and you got the same guys doing the animating. And then once they're done with it, then the voice actors read the lines or do their thing, and then you put it all together, and then bam, it's out. So I think you can put those out a little quicker than maybe like an actual movie.
But still.
Anyways,
I don't know. My reason is that I think the Dark Knight started it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Considering how comic book movies are now.
Right.
Do you think that's going to be the next phase?
For what? For anime?
For movies.
Oh, you think they're going to be all comic book movies?
No, they are right now. It's basically all movies are right now are comic book movies. And I'm just saying the phrase started for it to become mainstream, and then once it became mainstream.
Entertainment's just like anything else. It's cyclical. So this will fall out of favor eventually. I don't know when.
Comic books?
Yeah. Like,
well, no, but here's my thing, though. I'm saying since comic books were accepted into mainstream,
yeah.
Now that anime is being in mainstream, do you think Hollywood is going to take a bigger role in that?
In anime?
Yes.
I don't think they believe. See, this is. I would say no.
I mean, we're already seeing it with the One Piece live action, the Naruto live piece that's coming out. They just announced that they're going to work on a Bleach one. I believe I heard. I'm not saying they announced. They heard. I think I've
yeah. But so that's not like, that's really not Hollywood proper. That's like Netflix. That's like the streaming services, right?
It'll start.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This was going to be my point. The old heads are not going to be involved in this because they still will not see the reason why anime was valuable. They still won't see it. It's going to take some of the new heads,
even though for the longest time Crunchyroll was beating Netflix in streams.
Yeah, because they don't understand it. Because you got to remember, anything that's different than the dichotomy. So like Hollywood dichotomy of making movies and making TV shows is basically polar opposite to how anime is made. And because remember, when they make anime, remember we were talking about it on a previous episode of something where they have those like anime sweatshops or whatever, and they're making people work 90 or 100 or 700 hours a week.
Well, that's
right?
just Japan in general.
That's what I'm saying. So like, but that culture, that's how you are able to pump out these things quick for the cheapest amount of money. Hollywood can't do that. They cannot actually do that. They do not. They lack the infrastructure to be able to create that type of thing of what anime can create.
Right.
So because those guys don't see any money in it, they're not going to fucking... Now what'll end up happening is, okay, Netflix, depending on how well overall this whole One Piece series does, because listen, Netflix has done live action anime stuff.
The reason One Piece worked was because Oda was actually involved in it.
That's what I'm saying. Now...
And then from what I just found out from another guy who has... also has a really good anime podcast. According to the other guy, they're like the number 3 one.
Who? One Piece?
No, their podcast is like the number 3 podcast for like anime. Where they're like, oh, that's cool. Number two being I forgot what their name, but they're like a huge name in like podcasting for anime.
Yeah.
And the number one was Crunchyroll.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. But he was talking about he found out that Kishimoto was actually involved in the live action Naruto one too.
Oh, so they're making live action Naruto.
Yeah, that was announced the same time as One Piece.
Oh. On the Netflix?
Yeah. I think it's Netflix.
I mean, I'd be down for that.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's my point.
That's what I'm saying is okay, you got to also remember too, the way that Hollywood works is they want to buy it, and yeah, sure, maybe you'll be involved as like a consultant, but you don't get to decide what they do, right? Once they pay you that money, that's it, it's over. So I think Hollywood is smart enough to know that with anime, you can't just take some bullshit and throw it together and not have the original creators involved. I don't think that.
Well, they did with the Death Note movies.
What?
Well, wait, no.
That wasn't Hollywood.
That wasn't Hollywood. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So, like,
okay, but
those were made in Japan.
But look at Godzilla.
Godzilla, what? Like the American Godzilla movies?
Yeah, the Godzilla, the legendary Godzilla.
Like the
legendary, the company that's making them right now.
Yeah,
sorry, not legendary, Universal.
Right? Yeah.
They're fucking.
Yeah, but that's not anime.
But it's a Japanese culture thing, and it's
but it's not anime. That's what I'm saying.
That was something that is only now being accepted into the mainstream.
Sure,
but Godzilla was always
on the fringes.
Yeah,
but here's the thing: Godzilla's not anime, and like I said, also taking something from animation into live action, it's a very difficult process, and that's why I think the ones that generally don't have the original creators on board fail, or they come out bad, or whatever, because this person who created this, yes, they know it.
They tried with Dragon Ball Evolution.
Yeah. Was Toriyama involved in that?
No, of course not.
That's what I'm saying. So
I'm just saying, like, Hollywood
they tried to do it, and look what happened. Dragon Ball made no money. It lost them a shit ton of money. So that's why they're going to look at this and say, we cannot. Or at least they haven't figured out how to apply their formula to taking anime stories and making them live action. They haven't figured it out yet. Netflix is starting to get there with this One Piece thing, but then see, this is the other thing.
They fucked it up with Death Note.
That maybe, but we don't really know, and this is where it's hard to know, is because we don't know how Netflix calculates how its shows make money, right?
That is true. I don't
like, we have no fucking clue.
It has to be the view counts or something.
But then how do you? Even if that's how they do it, you still can't really quantify that into.
Well, maybe they do it by.
Does this person have their Netflix subscription just to watch this show?
Doesn't say. Maybe they do it like they did with The Mandalorian, where we see how many new subscribers we got and how many we lost after they
did it. Yeah. I mean, maybe that could be a way that they metric it. But then even then, you really still don't know.
That's a metric that would only work for new projects.
Yeah, but if you had like something small like that, you probably would never know.
Honestly, at that point, I think anything small, let's just say like probably like $10 million.
Yeah,
like a Netflix original animation.
Sure, yeah.
I think those are just, they're not expecting draw. I think they're just expecting for them to keep people.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to capture the anime market because.
Well, I'm not talking about anime. I'm just talking about Netflix originals.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, there are some anime ones there.
Right.
Again, quotations original.
Well, yeah, they're just buying it and throwing their name on it. Or
like they did with the 7 Deadly Sins. Yeah. But, and this other one that I really like, fuck, what's it called? I can't remember the name of it, but basically it's eating in the dungeon or whatever. Mm-hmm. Basically they're in a dungeon crawl. They're doing a dungeon crawl, but they have no more money, so they couldn't buy supplies. So they're having to survive after hunting the monsters that live in the dungeon.
Oh, that's fun.
And they run into a hermit that actually like he doesn't go to the surface. He lives in the dungeon, and that's what he does. He just
lives off of fucking what's in the dungeon.
Yeah, like it was actually really fucking clever. They have the oh my god, I'm forgetting the D&D term. I want to say troll, but that's what it is. Golems. That's what it is. So they have golems in there that are made out of rock and dirt.
Yeah.
And honestly, in this one, they were treating them more as dirt. And you can't eat dirt. So
yeah.
Since they're made out of dirt, they always keep themselves moist and stuff like that. So he used them as gardens. to plant vegetables.
Nice. Yeah.
And I thought, oh, that's fucking actually pretty funny. And
What's
smart.
the name of this show?
Eating in the Dungeon, or
what's it on?
It's on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
I've been using your account to watch it.
Oh.
When you're not using it.
Oh yeah, because it won't let us.
Yeah. And I thought, man, it's time for me to go get my own subscription. And
then you went to go
$17.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm good. I'll just often.
I think it's $26.99 now.
No, I think it's $26.99 if you want to do the thing where you can share it with 3 other people.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
I hate that, man. It's so terrible.
Let me look it up on the Netflix. Oh, it won't let me.
Why?
Because I signed out of you from this one.
Oh,
to sign up
to
for
sign on your
to sign up for my own, but that's why I was like, nah, I'm good. See if I can find the name of it.
Was it Eden of the something?
Something like that.
Netflix anime Eden Zero?
No, Eating.
Oh, Eating.
Delicious in the Dungeon.
Oh, okay. I've seen that. Or I haven't watched it, but I've seen that on there, and I thought, oh, that might be interesting. Delicious in Dungeon. All right, I'm about to watch it. Have you seen the whole thing?
Not yet.
All right. Maybe we'll have to do we'll do like a series review maybe on here if you're down.
But anyway.
Anyways, yeah.
So you think that it'll never be accepted by Hollywood?
I'm not saying I don't think it'll never be accepted. I just think that until they figure out or see the value, and it's going to take a culture change because the people that run like HBO or whatever it's called, Warner Brothers Discovery or fucking.
Well, Warner Brothers already had success with
Paramount. That's what I'm saying. All the studios that run, they're not going to put any serious money.
But here's the thing, though. There is a company out there that already saw it and has been working with them. Disney. Disney is the reason we have Miyazaki films here in America. Hell, Disney paid 8 companies to make animations for Star Wars.
Yeah. But that's the thing too. They ain't like the Miyazaki, like they're making those in Japan.
Yeah, obviously.
Like, they're just paying somebody.
I'm just saying there's a company out there that sees value in anime. Is what I'm saying.
Right. Disney does see value in anime. Which is why they were talking about trying to buy Crunchyroll and whatever.
They're trying to buy companies in Japan.
Yeah, because I think that Disney is being forward looking and they're seeing the writing on the wall that anime is
that's what I'm saying.
Mainstream now.
Is anime the next cash cow for this industry?
Oh,
like
yeah.
Comic book was.
Maybe not in the next 5 years, but maybe in the next 10. I'd say that they'll probably figure it out. And somebody's gonna figure some shit out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, my question is anime going to be the next cash cow?
Oh, okay. If that's the question, then yeah, I think it is going to be the thing that'll be the next mainstream.
Because people are already getting bored. We're already at the point where people are bored of comic books.
It's been 2008 was when Iron Man came out, so it's been almost 20 years.
Again, I'm going back to Dark Knight because that's
that was in 2005, so it has been basically almost 20 years, and all those stories have been told now. All the interesting ones, at least.
That's the fucked up part. At least, like some of the good ones, like let's say Civil War and shit, they're vastly different than the actual comic book storyline.
True, they are. They're not even close.
Works for them. Again, going from animation, like you said, from a book to a movie, you can't do a 1-to-1.
Right. Yeah.
Like I was talking, like we talked with Adam on the comic book one.
Yeah.
Where I talked about how in one of the Batman comics they have this whole scene where to demonstrate to the audience how crazy Batman, and I'm saying crazy and insane like in the literal term that he's going crazy, because he was drugged. To show how crazy and insane he's becoming, you actually have to turn the comic book to be able to start reading it. Right, You're flipping the comic around like in a spiral, but in order to be able to read the panels. I don't think you can translate that into animation in a good or even live action.
Right.
In a way that would be as compelling in that media.
Yeah, true.
So you can't do a 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Liberties have to be taken.
True.
Which, again, I always give shows in places things.
A little leeway, yeah. Right.
No, I always give them shit for not following the storylines. So, again, I'm being a little bit of a hypocrite, but there's a big difference. With Halo, no one from Bungie or 343 is involved in that shit. And it shows in the writing.
Yeah.
Because they literally said, no, we're not going to We're not. What are the guy who's running Fallout right now? The show?
Yeah.
You should not even try to appease the Fallout fans or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is completely different. But when you're taking the source material of, let's say, the comic book and you're bringing it into animation and you just don't want to follow it, that's the problem.
Yeah.
But if you're like, going, okay, I can't make this scene, so instead, let's have every time Batman speaks, it echoes to have 4 different voices saying each fucking echo.
Yeah. There's a way to do it.
There's a way to do it so that, it sucks that badass fucking moment can't be relived in animation or live action, but at least they're not going away from it.
Yeah.
Now with Halo, the fact that there's a guy in a green suit is probably the only connection it has to the game.
Well, the armor looks the same.
Yeah. Master Chief's, the other guns don't.
And what's her name? Cortana.
She has pink skin. She has human skin.
I thought she was blue.
No, she has human skin. Oh. They made her look more like the actress, which I was okay with when they first showed her the thing. I'm like, you know what? That is an artistic liberty that you can actually, that I'm cool with. Like, because you're not her name isn't Cornina or some shit like that. And she's supposed to be the exact, like her storyline. Yeah. She's a copy of Halsey's brain and all that shit.
Right, yeah.
So that shit's like, okay, that visual makes sense.
Yeah.
And like I said, it looks really good, like compared to the actress.
Yeah.
And then, but then when literally everything has nothing to do with Halo or the storyline of Halo. I don't even know if there's a Halo in it. No, there's a Suburban.
Yeah.
And it was funny. I saw a picture that was, I guess, some of the rebels, and they were fighting with AK-47s.
Oh, that's funny.
But like you said, the ones that are working because the creators are involved and they know how to. It's their story. They know how to make it work. If you have to take certain things away, no,
go ahead.
If you have to take things away, work within the means of the show.
Right.
Don't change don't change the story because you want to make it work.
Yeah. And I think you're right about if you have the person who made the story involved, they know, okay, I can change this. This isn't going to work.
Or maybe, like, better yet, sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was saying, like, or maybe there was something he regretted not doing and had to change it for this. And then maybe because this now won't work in this media, maybe my original thought would work.
Right.
So I'm saying, like, maybe, and then it works. If anything, that actually makes the story richer because it's still connected, but now it's being shown in a different version that the artist had in mind.
Yeah.
Because he knows A and Z. He knows A to B.
Right.
Hey, if A to B doesn't work, A to B2 to C. As opposed to when somebody who's never read the source that says, I don't get why the ring is a weapon and looks like a planet. So I'm just gonna make it a planet.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand the weapon aspect. Even though H is gonna tell you why it's a weapon.
Right.
And the whole connection to why the whole storyline works because of the zealots and all that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is what the movie did, the show did, but I'm just using it as an example.
Yeah.
So even though it worked back here, because you didn't know that the whole zealotry of the elites and all that shit.
Yeah.
Now you took away the fanatic religious terrorist aspect from the fucking story, which is a huge part of the story.
Yeah.
Just because you didn't know the source material and you didn't know that the ring needed to be a weapon.
Yeah.
And that's my example using Halo. I'm not saying that's how
right.
But you know who would have made that fuck up? I don't know his name, but the writers of the original Halo games.
Yeah.
The people who have worked on the games, who know the story. Or a fucking fan.
Who knows the story?
Who knows the story. I get why you can't use fans for some shit like that because they're fanatical. Not fanatical, but what's the word? It has. Let me put up my glasses.
Yeah.
It has to be blue. she has to be blue because she's Cortana.
And Cortana is blue. Yeah.
So I understand why fans can't get that role, but
right.
But there's got to be at least like a bunch of people that worked on those storylines for Halo.
Or in the way of Naruto, it'd be like as they push up their glasses. Naruto does a sexy jutsu. He needs to do the sexy jutsu. It has to be in here.
They have to have big old titties.
They need big old bitties. Like, yeah, that would be the anime equivalent of that.
You went from Trump to nerd instead of sustained nerd.
You know, Naruto does the best. He does the best sexy jutsu. It's a great sexy jutsu.
I've seen many Rasengans. His
Rasengan is top notch.
The one the one that Jiraiya, nothing.
I think that actually his sexy jutsus, I think, are one of my wives. I'm not 100% sure if it's actually Naruto or not.
The only way I can find out is if I hit her, but I can't do that.
But then if I did that, then I would just be fucking Naruto. So I don't know.
All right.
Many such cases.
Now, how big of a boom do you think the Marvel Universe, the Avengers and all that had on comic books? Do you think it caused more a notice increase in sales, or just a few?
Okay, I think it would have had to have made some sort of a difference, just because it's exposing people to it, and then if people who are regular moviegoers see that and go, oh, it's a comic book. Oh, well, I actually like this story. I wonder what the comic book stories are like. Maybe I should read the comics. And then that's how you get the accepted, it gets accepted into mainstream. Right. Reading comics is now cool because, well, if you want to know more about these stories other than the 90 minutes of movie or whatever you're getting, there's thousands of pages you can read. And I think that there had to have been a considerable uptick in sales. So, are you getting at? Are you getting at the next question being if that will be an effect on anime?
I'm just saying, do you think manga would see us? If manga would ever come into the limelight here in America?
All right, this is gonna sound fucked up, and I'm gonna try and say, well, no, I can't frame this in a way that doesn't sound fucked up because it's racist, but. Manga will never be in the mainstream as much as comic books are, just because you got to read it right to left.
That is interesting. So I don't think you could convert it over.
I don't think you can. I don't think it works. I think there was a manga that I read where they tried to do that, and I read the one left, like how it's supposed to be right to left, and then I read the one that was left to right, and for some reason it was just weird. Like this shit was off. It didn't look right, and I think that's the reason why is because Americans, let's be honest, Americans are the economy of the world. So if we don't get it, it's not spreading outside of your fucking country into the mainstream, right? Because obviously manga is huge in Japan. I mean, manga does well here in America. There's plenty of people that probably even read it in Japanese. They probably had to learn Japanese because back before there was a thing in America where you could even get it in English. Because remember, there was a period where they weren't making any of this shit in English at all, or it was very limited. So if you wanted to read your favorite, One Piece episode or manga, you had to know how to read in Japanese. So I think there was a contingent of people that for sure learned Japanese so that they could get access to it. Now, I don't think that. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going down.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about it on the next podcast, though.
Yep.
All right. No, I think that anime or manga, I'm sure it will have an uptick if they when this shit starts coming over here. I think the uptick will be greater for the anime counterpart of that manga if there was one already made, because that's more accessible because it's likely going to be in English. And that's the other thing. Most people aren't going to want to read subtitles. So if anything, because I hate reading subtitles, I do it though for anime.
I won't say I don't hate it or don't like it. I'm indifferent.
Mm-hmm.
But like if I'm doing something like I'm not in school, but if I was doing homework or shit like that,
I would need it to be in English.
I would need it to be in English.
Because you can't, I can't like do something else and watch the anime.
Like to be relevant right now, if I was to eat a special type of totally fine, totally legal brownie,
sure,
and I go down to lay down and relax and watch the next. If I'm gonna watch the new episode of my anime while I'm relaxing, relaxing.
Right, yeah, it's got to be in English.
It's got to be in English because at those points I'm gonna become dyslexic.
But if you eat enough of the brownie, you may actually learn Japanese. They'll start talking in English even though they're talking in Japanese, and you're like, "Holy shit!"
What was it? I think it was The Boys. I was watching one of their running jokes is that one of their guys, Eddie, he's from Mexico, and he speaks a lot of Spanish. Like he speaks really good English because I think he came over here when he was young, and I don't know what happened in the video. I can't remember. But I think somebody was speaking Japanese or Spanish. Yeah. And then I think they made it seem like they said it in English.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because he was so high.
Yeah. No. He was just saying that they were in English.
Oh.
And then he was like, oh, no, it wasn't The Boys. It was the Blind Wave. It was one of the guys reacting. They were reacting to an anime where they were doing it was Dr. Stone, where they were speaking English. Or was it Dr. Stone? Whatever. They were speaking English, but like in Dr. Stone, they were mimicking an American singer, so they were speaking in American. Not English, American.
Yeah.
And but they were doing I don't know if you ever seen the Japanese accent when they speak American.
Yeah.
Like it has that whole. It's like when Americans try to speak deep. Mm-hmm. It's like, how are you, my friend? Mm-hmm. Like that. And then in the Japanese version, they just went back to speaking Jap. They just did it to show you, hey, they're speaking another language. Yeah. But that's horrible for the Japanese voice actors. Yeah. And I think that there's something similar in the English version. They were doing something like that, and the guy's like, I think I just learned Japanese. And then they started speaking English like proper. Oh no, they started speaking Japanese again. Oh, never mind.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? Do you think that?
I'm just wondering because the whole cultural, I was about to say cultural appropriation, which it kind of is. The Americans are stealing Japanese culture.
Yeah. I mean, I guess. They're stealing their cartoons and their comics.
Yeah. No, but that culture is always going to stay over there.
Yeah. Well, listen, we eat sushi.
Just did today.
We use chopsticks.
Not good.
Only when we eat sushi, but, we use them.
I mean, I used it for ramen the other day. When I went to that ramen shop.
Yeah. Which one did you go to?
I forgot the one. So up there in Hidden Valley. Well, I didn't.
Oh, the new one? That new one?
It's been there for a couple months.
Oh. But was it that one? Next to the sushi place in the McDonald's?
No, it's in the Chick-fil-A area.
Oh, I didn't even know there was one over there.
That's Hidden Valley, right?
Well, I mean, it's across. It's over by Kohl's is where the Chick-fil-A is.
Yeah, that's where I mean. That's not Hidden Valley. That's
well, it's on Hidden Valley. Yeah, it's on the other side of the 15, though.
Yeah. God, we're so Californians.
No, it's the 15. It's the and whatever the freeway is. If you're not saying it that way,
you're wrong.
You're wrong.
But
yeah,
no, it's that one I'm talking about.
Okay.
There's a ramen place at the other one.
Yeah, the McDonald's. There's a ramen spot right there.
There's a sushi place.
Yeah, and right next to it is a ramen bar.
No, right next to it's the floor and planning area.
No, remember we drove right by it the other day.
Yeah, we were talking about going because they were announcing all you can eat sushi. And we're talking about going.
Yeah,
there.
And then right next to it was a ramen place.
I don't remember.
All right, whatever. Anyways, but so you went to the one that was over by Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Well, was it any good?
Yeah, it's always good. I've been getting there through the DoorDash for a lot.
Oh, what kind of ramen do they have?
They have all kinds. They have they have tonkatsu, they have black, they have soul, all that ones.
Interesting. I've never had black ramen. Adam says it's like his favorite, and some place.
I'm trying to remember what it's supposed to be. I'm trying to remember because my go-to has always been tonkatsu. It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, because pork is my favorite, like flavoring.
Yeah,
it's not my favorite meat,
right?
but it's my favorite flavor of something. That's why I always get the top ramen, like the pork flavor ones.
Oh yeah.
And I get the pork seasoning. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Oh yeah.
If you want something that tastes like beef, though, MSG.
Oh yeah, MSG.
I was about to say Uncle Roger in a very racist. But anyway. I haven't had the black though, but I heard black ramen's good. It's better than that. I forget what it's called. They made a whole episode of Naruto about it.
Oh yeah.
They're dipping ramen.
Oh.
So instead of you just have a bowl of noodles, you grab it, dip it into like some kind of concentrated like broth sauce.
Flavor sauce?
Yeah. And then just eat it like that.
Take you straight to Flavor Town.
Yeah. It was funny. Naruto was arguing with them for like 20 minutes. This is my favorite ramen shop. You can't not be a ramen shop. And whatever. And then he finally, because he's so fucking hungry, he's just, fuck it, do it. Give it to me. He's like, he looks at, hey, old man, can you give me some like toppings? Like, the normal toppings you put in ramen.
Yeah.
So he puts in his noodles. Okay. Get a little bit of extra sauce.
And then he just pours it in
there and eats it like ramen.
Dang, what an asshole.
Yeah. But, so I'm sure there's other aspects we could talk about how anime coming to our culture like this would be a good thing.
Right.
The whole purpose of this episode I want to go over is the negative part of this.
Okay. What's the negative?
Remember a while back I told you about that former prisoner who I follow on TikTok?
Maybe. Vaguely.
Remember with the super nipples?
Oh yeah. Okay. I remember that. Yeah.
A while back I was
yeah, I remember. That's all you had to say. I remember.
A while back on one of the other podcasts when we were talking about the lowly culture, which that's part of the bad.
Yeah.
But remember how he was talking? He said that if anybody came in there wanting to play D&D or was watching anime, you automatically assume that they were a chomo, as they call them, which is a child pedophile. And at first I was offended. I was like, because I'm not like that. Josh is not like that.
Yeah. Hell, even Adam's not like that.
Yeah. No, he's not. But then when you start thinking about the community as a whole, sure, we're not the driving force behind the lowly culture.
True.
Japan's the one doing it and drawing it and making that a thing. But there's a big support for it.
How does, because you were talking about like other anime podcasts, like how do they, how is it, is it mainstream within the anime community?
That's a good question, actually.
Because that would really tell if we're fucking being crazy by saying you guys can't really.
I want to say it's not, but I don't want to say that it's not 50-50.
Yeah.
It's probably close to that. And I think it's going to keep growing as anime keeps growing its popularity.
God, man. What? I don't even know if I want to Google this.
I was about to say, go incognito, activate your VPN.
What percentage of the anime community? Whoops.
Yeah, Josh.
What?
You want to know something funny?
What?
I can kind of go for something to eat.
Oh yeah, what? oh, like I said earlier, huh? Oh yeah, man. What did I say? Anyway. Wow, man. It's the first thing that comes up is a Reddit post.
Of course.
It's unsettling how many anime fans will defend lolicon. Lollies are making me step away from the anime community.
I've had that feeling.
The anime community.
I think I've actually separated myself from the anime community for the most part. Because I remember I used to go to forums, find out the next mangas or animes that are coming out.
Yeah.
And I got grossed out, and I don't do that anymore. I don't go on forums anymore.
What are the demographics of anime fans? 34% of Gen Z, around 15 million people, acknowledge themselves as anime otaku. A 2022 survey held by Morning Consult showed that 42% of anime fans in the United States are millennials, so that's us.
Yeah.
25% are adult Gen Zs. 21% are Gen Xers, and 12% are baby boomers. So
that reminds me of that one story. They asked this ace pilot from World War II because there's an anime out there about all the ace pilots from World War II and stuff.
Yeah,
like all around. It's just like really well pilots.
Yeah.
But they're all anime chicks. And so they asked that World War II vet, "Hey, do you know about this? You know what anime is?" "I'm the one that bombed them and made anime." Yes. He's like, they asked him if he knew what anime was, and they told him, "Do you know there's an anime out there where they draw you, and make you into a chick?" And the guy just looks. "Are her tits huge?" That was his response.
"I like my women how I like my coffee. Big tits." Okay. Because here's the other thing. Remember, we've talked before about. I mean, we've had this conversation, but okay. Remember how like the animes that have like the young whatever, they're like 13,
the lollies,
like the loli, right? And I am starting to see that a lot more in anime, in regular anime.
It's funny because we're probably blind to it because when we were watching, we were 16, 17 years old. So it was not that bad of an issue back then to us.
I guess that's true because we were also that like same age.
But that's the thing. We've aged out of shonens where we're part of where we're no longer seeing ourselves in the MCs.
Right.
Like we can identify with some of their qualities, but we can no longer see ourselves in that same life where they're the age group.
Right.
So back then we could, so it wasn't that much of a difference to us when we saw them sexualizing.
You think that's why Boruto sucks to us?
No, Boruto sucks because it's 75% fucking filler.
Well, no, but like, do you think that that's part of it? Is the filler is like bullshit? But it's like we never aged up. Like Naruto's the same age as us in the show, basically. Like he's our age. Like he was our age when he was in Naruto, and then Shippuden, we were teenagers. He was our age and young adults, right? And now in Boruto, he's like in his late 30s or whatever, like we are. So, but he's not the focus. It's back to the 8-year-old fucking Boruto. So is that why we don't like that shit? I don't know.
You reminded me of something horrible.
Oh, what?
They already announced the sequel series
to Boruto.
Yeah.
What's it gonna be? Boruto Shippuden?
It's like Saruto or some shit like that.
Is it about some new kid?
It's about Boruto's kid.
He's not even an adult.
He is in a time skip now. Well, I think there are adults now in the time skip.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. I think he was an adult in the first episode and they showed the future. But I don't know, dude. All
right, whatever. But anyways, this is the other thing. Okay, so like,
no, but continue your quote.
My point was, as we see more of this shit in the whole the lolly thing, I mean, there may have to be a point where we just fucking have to step away. Or at least step away from the new shit.
Again, like I had to stop watching Gate because of that shit was super fucking. The chick that represents death.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's 2,000 years old, but she has the body of an 8-year-old.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like
and
you're gonna,
and it's not like, oh, that's just her outfit. She's just being different. No, she straight up tries to fuck the MC character.
Yeah.
And there's this one I really fucking love. And every time I rewatch it, I have to skip a certain episode. Because again, the chick she was like in her 30s when she died in Japan.
Yeah.
And then when she reincarnated in this world, she literally reincarnated as a baby. So in the point where she meets up with the MC character, she's like 13 years old. And she literally puts a spell on him to make him delirious and stuff so she could fuck him.
That's fucking crazy.
And I'm like, yeah, she has a 36-year-old, or even she's probably in her 50s now by her mind.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean, but she's in a 13-year-old's body. It doesn't make it okay.
And that's the other thing. People defending it. That's what gets me.
Those are the people that need to be watched.
Sure, yeah, they need to be on some kind of a watch list. I mean, listen, we're already on pretty much all the watch lists. But
that's because of another podcast.
That's for totally different reasons for separate podcasts that we do. I'll never defend fucking if there's an anime, if an anime has that in it, I'm not watching it.
I mean, there's like anime like magic the magical girls.
Okay.
I forget what it's called. And that one's a pretty, from what I've seen, I haven't seen it. I saw a clip today that made me think, holy shit. But everybody likes it and defends it, but I don't think, I don't watch this. I didn't watch the show, but I don't think they sexualize the girls.
Okay, another good, Lucky Star is a good example of that. They don't yeah, sure, they're fucking like little kids.
Wait, they're high school seniors.
Okay, sure, but they're not sexualized though.
I mean, there's scenes where they're naked, but they're in a bathtub or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. But it's not like that's like you're just taking a bath. It's not like they're fucking doing it so you can jerk off or whatever.
I mean, it's Japan.
I mean, okay, maybe for Japan, but
by the standards we've seen from other animes, it's nowhere near what other animes are.
Right, that's like very minimal compared to like some of the new ones or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So I don't know if my point is like, is this bad for our society? Not society, but bad for the anime culture. That not only is Japan creating this, but it's being heavily supported in other cultures as well.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a bad look for the community as a whole. And
I just wish the U.S. could just follow in Florida's steps and make that shit an executionable offense.
Yeah.
I think, but they put an age limit on it.
Oh.
It's like 15.
Oh.
So if they're 15 and over, you're just gonna go to prison for life, or for whatever they said. But if it's 14 and under, we gonna kill you
for child molesting.
Yes.
Yeah. Should just be dead.
At 18, it just gets re-promoted to rape or sexual assault. That's what I'm asking you.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it depends.
What would be the
when you're 18, you can just be fucking. You can consent.
That's what I'm saying, though. At what point is it no longer required for execution?
Oh, I don't know. It would be 18. It would just be
regular rape or sexual assault.
I don't know if you get death penalty for that in Florida.
No, that doesn't say it's only when it involves a child.
Oh, well, then it wouldn't be child molestation once you turn 18 because you're an adult.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is that the cutoff?
Yeah, that's the cutoff. Is once you turn 18, then you're just an adult.
So, yeah. The fact that we had to have this conversation because
it's terrible.
It's terrible.
It's fucking terrible. And I don't know if there's a solution for this because I don't think they're going to stop doing it.
The solution for it is the same solution for the furry community.
Executions.
Yes.
I mean, I do agree with that.
God, my niece just told me that
she's a furry. God damn it!
No, there's a furry in her PE class, and the stuff she told me, I will leave it to that because I don't want to dox anyone.
Man,
but anyway,
listen, people can do what they want. All right, the furries.
Let's stop right there. Again, I don't want to dox anybody.
I'm not doxing anybody.
No,
all right. We'll just let it be.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's bad.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying if I was a cop and I arrested somebody and they had child porn stuff, I don't know if that fucker's gonna make it to the station. I don't even know if dispatch is gonna get a notification. Dispatch all clear. It was false alarm.
I mean, they've killed people for less.
Just by the color of the skin.
Yeah.
Well, here in America at least.
Right. So
I'm just saying, like, when cops go down for killing pedophiles and stuff like that, I'm like, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
I blame them for a lot of shit. That's one of the abuses of power that's acceptable. But unfortunately, I don't want to blame it on it, but it's a component to protecting it is the cancel culture and all this. I don't know what's the best word for it. The left
wokeism.
Woke culture, I guess, is kind of protecting it now, and that's the other problem.
Well, honestly, it doesn't even matter if that's like a thing, as long as there's enough people to support it. It'll
but if you protect it, then gives people more like ideas to look into it and start. What's that scene from Community? I hope this doesn't awaken something in me.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I kind of feel like if it does awaken something in you, then you already had this. You were already like this anyways.
Yeah, but at least if society's gonna punish you for it, I think you're less likely to go out and do it.
Maybe, but I don't think that you can punish
by at least 1%.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you could punish somebody for. I don't think they would ever punish somebody for watching this, like the anime that has that shit in there. I don't think you could.
Yeah, that's because art can be loosely interpreted.
Well, and that's the other thing is like a lot of that's how they get around it. Is they're like, oh, well, this is a 2,000-year-old fucking whatever.
Or in the case of Lucky Star, that's just how we draw them. To be small and cute.
Right.
That's the thing, because that all of them are like that.
Yeah.
Not just one specific person. Mm-hmm. And I guess that's the big different marker between like it and Lucky Star and fucking what's the one I really like?
The Shield Hero?
Yeah, Shield Hero. Oh my god, that one's bad.
Yeah.
The fucking Spear Hero. There's a fucking chicken that turns into a girl. A little girl. And the Spear Hero wants to fuck her. Like, it's not even like what's the word?
It's not hidden, yeah.
Like blatant. It's blatant. Like there's a point where he captures her and he's like he just grabs her like
he's just rubbing on her.
Yeah.
Weird.
And it's like and then Raphtalia, I can't say her name.
Raphtalia?
Yeah. She's literally again, we don't know her age. Because the way their species works, if they're weak, they're small and kid-like. And the stronger you get, the more your body, the bigger. You
turn into like an adult. Basically.
Yes. That's how when she joins up with the Shield Hero, she turns from a 6-year-old to a 17, 18-year-old body in like 2 weeks or 2 months. Sure, she has the... Now, here's the opposite of Loli. She has an 18-year-old body, but the mind of a 6-year-old.
That's also weird.
Yes.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah. So I was just saying, like, I get, like, that's the other one, the Me Too movement. How grabby and touchy anime perverts are. Like, say, like, Brock.
How did that not get caught up in that?
Yeah.
You know?
And I was just saying, like, is that another thing that's gonna be like, it's good? I tell you, it's gonna come up in a case where someone's gonna say, "Hey, I grew up watching this stuff. You can't blame me."
Well, that's when anime is going to turn into the 1990s gangster rap, and they're going to put it on trial in Congress.
Oh god!
And they're going to make them put.
Oh, you mean the hair metal?
No, it was with rap. That's how
the
whole explicit metal, the explicit content.
No, it came from the Reagan trial with I say Reagan because that was his era. With what's his name from Twisted Metal? He was the representative.
No, it was Tipper Gore. Was the one who started that whole thing for getting the stupid explicit lyrics.
The parental advisory.
Yeah.
That was done for the 80s metal. Because what's his name? The guy from Twisted Sister was the one that was like the representative of rock.
He was the representative of rock. I don't know, date. Yep, it was first album to bear the black and white parental advisory label was the 1990 release of banned in the USA by the rap group Two Live Crew.
Then look up the thing with Dean. What's his name? Dean Snyder. What his name is?
Let's see. Background. Let's see. It says. So it's basically it was co-founded by Tipper Gore. Darling Nikki by Prince was what they in 1980. So they started this thing in 1985, but the parental guidance thing didn't actually happen until 1990. So
what's the thing with the?
Yeah, I see his name here right now. It says notable musicians Frank Zappa, Dee Snider, and John Denver each testified at the hearing with strong opposition to the warning label system and censorship in general. 2 months after the hearing, the organizations agreed on a settlement in which audio recordings were to either be affixed with a warning label reading explicit lyrics, parental advisory, or have its lyrics attached on the backside of its packaging. So, yeah, in 1990, that was when they put the first thing, and it was the first album to get it. Man, that would be cool to be the first fucking album that they said, oh, yeah, this needs to have a censorship fucking label on it. Yeah, basically. Yeah, basically that was the first one. So it wasn't like, D. Snyder was involved though. He did testify against it.
Yeah, because he made Nancy Reagan look like a dumbass.
Frank Zappa, D. Snyder, and John Denver both were up there.
Yeah, look up the video, man. He fucking makes her look like an idiot.
It's probably, let's see. In a hearing, September 19th.
I don't think it was Nancy Reagan, sorry.
Yeah, it was probably Tipper Gore. Like, because she's the one that really pushed, which was Al Gore's wife.
That's who it was. Yeah, Al Gore's wife.
She really fucking pushed. She was the one that pushed this whole like thing.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do something fucking whatchamacallit. Maybe they should have a what is
Perv alert kind of thing?
Yeah, like a this is a fucking not parental advisory, but like a pedo advisory or some shit on anime.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, when him talking about that shit, like, if you watch cartoons at the, what is it called? The communal center or whatever?
Community center?
The communal.
YMCA?
Where all of them are gathered up. Prisoners.
Oh, yeah. In the
commissary?
The commune area, the communal area.
Yeah, so if you're watching cartoons and shit, they just fucking like. Beat the shit out of you? I think they just
kill you?
Yeah. The way he was talking about it, yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
And I found out that, like, apparently there's this documentary I was watching or I saw a clip of where she went and interviewed all these death row guys and basically how they would play D&D just to pass the time.
Yeah.
But they literally had to, like, pass notes between themselves because you're not supposed to interact with each other. Mm. So they were passing these notes and talking about, like, oh, this is what my character is going to do and stuff like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, there's a stigma now that I feel that nerd culture has that now is going to lead to perversion.
Yeah.
And out of all of nerd culture, I think anime is the guiltiest party in that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Anime is definitely they're not helping.
No.
They ain't helping. Some of them aren't helping the cause.
Because unfortunately, it's something that can't be controlled because it's another country's culture.
Yeah.
Like right now, as we speak, there's a small little girl being married off to some 40-year-old Indian dude in India.
Yeah.
And there's nothing we can do about it because it's not our culture. It's not our land.
True.
Yet.
Until it is.
But I don't know. So that's my thoughts about. That's what I wanted to bring up. Talk about, like, this is unfortunate. Unfortunately, if there's light, there's dark.
True.
You can't make light without casting darkness. Shadows and shit like that. Honestly, but enough, that was actually something from a filler arc in Bleach. The guy's Bankai was to make a whole barrier because the weakness to his technique is shadow because his whole thing is light.
Yeah.
So he made a barrier where there's no shadow. And what's his name again? Kenpachi just killed him and is like, you fool. No matter what, if there's light, there's gonna be shadow. Yeah. There's gonna be darkness.
Yeah.
Hell, even the yin yang symbol says that.
Right, because there's darkness and light, and the light and darkness. True story.
But unfortunately, this is something that's like, I don't think we'll ever get rid of.
No, it's not. It'll never get
until it becomes, unless we can make it unpopular in Japan.
I think it'll happen.
And in a country, unfortunately, in the cells used, you were both going to the same point.
I was gonna say, in a country where you could buy used women's underwear from a vending machine, that's never going to happen.
No.
Never going to happen.
I'm sure they're creating kinks that we couldn't even think of.
Oh, yeah. They're on the forefront of kink technology. I mean, 100%.
Kink industries.
Yeah. Hey, you remember back in the 90s and the early 2000s, they had that World Industries.
Dude, I don't remember the late 2020s.
Oh, that's a good point. But they had this little guy, and it was like a flame guy and a water guy, and they were like little characters.
Oh, that's my something.
It was World Industries.
Yeah, I just remembered.
Yeah, and so
the reason I reminded me because whenever I saw those guys, I thought of Spy. I always think about Spy versus Spy.
They basically would be doing the same shit.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh man, we should do, when you said that about the kink industry, we should do like Japanese kink industry and then have like the fucking.
Are they still around?
Who? World Industries? I don't know, maybe.
Continue.
I was gonna say, we should do a little thing with like, and then have two little characters like that, and then they just like fuck with each other all the time. That'd be hilarious. We could use the 1920s Mickey now to be the mascot because of it's in the public domain now.
Well, so, the first version,
that's what I'm saying, the 1920s Mickey or Steamboat Willie Mickey, I guess. So that's pretty funny. But
it says founded in 1989.
Jesus Christ!
It doesn't say anything about that they're out of business.
Yeah, I'm sure they're still around. Probably not doing as much.
Yeah, but so yeah, that's. I just wanted to talk about that because it's something that's getting bad.
Yeah,
we probably might lose a lot of viewers because of our opinions on this, but
hey, you know what, man? I'm gonna be honest. If that's the case,
good riddance.
You don't want to listen to us anymore because we're anti-lolly squad, then I guess get fucked because we didn't want to leave. We didn't want you to listen anyways. And realistically, if you're that passionate about lolly, get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry, man.
Reevaluate your life.
You really need to reevaluate your life. Additionally,
normally I'm always the person to say, "Hey, you do you, man." That's not something you do you.
That's what I was saying about the furries. Like, listen, man. Normally, I'm generally in favor of, "Hey, you do you." No, furries get fucked. That's the one thing. Get out of here, man. Lollies and furries, get the rope. All right, that's it. It's done. Get the fuck out of here.
There's our clip.
Wait, let me write down the timestamp. Anime Syndicate. Lollies and furries, get the rope. That's going to be our first t-shirt. An hour and 1 minute. All right. I know this is super meta, but whatever. I don't care. Hour and 1.
Did you get that video I sent you of that VTuber?
What were they doing?
Where she's like, he changed his name. Meta?
Oh, yeah.
Meta mi huevos en tu boca.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
In translation, get fucked.
Get fucked, yeah. So, excellent.
All right, then.
Anyways, do you have any other topics?
Nope. That's all I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Tune in next week where we talk about how we can kill all this industry. No, next week's topic, or next topic, it's going to probably be something. Oh, I got to fix something that I did.
Oh, okay.
Quick pause.
Okay, pause. All right, so we just paused real quick so Frank could show me an anime intro from previously when we did the previous episode where we did.
This should have been on that list.
Yeah, but it blew up. You said right after we.
No,
did
I think it blew up during, or I had just missed it.
Oh, okay. So it was, what was the anime?
Hold on. It's called Masho. Magic and Muscle. Or
Magic and. It's called Masho, Magic and Muscles.
Yeah.
And it's what's the name of the song? Who's it by?
Hold on, get into that.
Well, you could probably just.
It's Bling Bang Bang Born.
Okay.
By Creepy Nuts.
Creepy Nuts. What a great fucking name for a band. Yeah, so pause right now and go listen to it. So then, because we're gonna talk about it right now. But anyways, all right. So, what's that anime about? It's magic because I saw. I saw like it was giving me some like Harry Potter Soul Eater vibes.
Okay.
Where especially like when the logo it's the lightning bolt. I was like, oh, are they taking a shot at fucking Harry Potter? Is this like magic or some shit? And then you were like, oh yeah. I was like, are they wizards or some shit? But yeah, anyways, go ahead.
No, everybody's born with marks.
Okay.
They saw the marks on their faces.
Yeah.
Because that's supposed to indicate you have magic.
Okay.
And then there have things where you're double lined.
Okay.
And that means you're blessed by magic whenever you're supposed to be super powerful and stuff. Okay. The main hero, I already forgot his name, was born without it. Uh-huh. And those people are segregated.
Wow.
They're like low life. You're less than trash.
Yeah.
And the guy who found him, because he was just abandoned in the middle of the street. Damn. He's like right above trash. He's like super bad at magic, even though he has the mark and stuff. Right. So he took him in and raised him in the forest where nobody could see him. Uh-huh. But this guy's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
And has an obsession with cream puffs.
Okay.
So he saw there's a sale. I gotta get in on this.
Get in on that, yeah.
So he hid his face and stuff, but people saw his face was bare and reported him to the magic cops. The magic cops were like, hey,
we heard you got this non-magic trash kid here.
Yeah, so we gotta take him.
Gotta take him to jail.
Oh, he punched me. I am now on the other side of the planet. What the fuck? So he's like super strong.
Oh, okay. But he doesn't have magic.
He has no magic.
Damn.
And the guy's like, if I make this guy graduate wizard school and his name's associated with me, I can get promoted.
Oh.
So they sent him to magic school. And so they gave him a fake tattoo and all that shit to make it
look like he's magic?
Yeah. And it's fucking hilarious because the answer to every problem he has is his muscles.
Damn.
Like they have Quidditch.
Yeah.
Their version of Quidditch. He has no magic, so he can't make the broom fly. So what he does, he helicopters his legs so fucking fast and hard he's able to float.
That's fucking awesome.
It's fucking funny. The action is great. It's a great anime. I only started watching because I saw this shit blowing up. Ironically, on my YouTube feed after we did the whole feed, the episode, so all that shit was in my feed.
Right.
So it recommended other animes to me, and that was one that I recommended.
Is that one on Crunchyroll?
Yeah.
All right, I'm about to watch it. Is it new? Is it a fairly new one?
Fairly new. It's on its. I think it just ended its second season.
Oh, okay, so that's doable for me to catch back up to.
Well, the second season there's no English.
Oh.
So the first
sure
one
come out.
Dude, the guy, he has the monotonous voice of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he is now what I picture when I hear monotone. At least the English voice actor. I haven't seen it in Japanese, which I probably will because I want to watch the second season.
Yeah.
So to end this on a happy note, this is a good show. Watch.
Yeah. We should.
And that fucking was so yeah. But back to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
What did you think of the theme song?
Oh yeah, that theme song was fucking fire, man.
Yeah.
That was sweet as shit. Oh yeah, here it is. Magic Mashal sub-dub on Crunchyroll. And the first season is 12 episodes. And the second season is also 12 episodes, or it's 11 episodes maybe. And yes, it's well. No, it's wait a minute. What?
What?
All right. So I don't know if they just do this because they're dumb. But okay, well, the first episodes of season 2 says dub sub. And then the next one is dub Portuguese sub. And then the next one is dub Deutsch sub. But they're different episode numbers.
Yeah. Crunchyroll has a weird interface right now. So like, especially when I'm on the Xbox or the Roku.
Yeah.
It tells you there's 12 seasons.
Okay.
But in reality, it's just every dub.
Oh, it's every single dub?
Yeah. But if you go on the app, if I go on the Crunchyroll app, it just says one season, and then when you click on the episode, then you can change the language settings and all that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it looks like this. Yeah, damn, they made a Portuguese and a German dub before they made an English dub.
Yeah,
for season 2. That is weird. Did it not do well?
No, obviously not. That fucking theme song
is that popping. The theme song for number 1?
I think for the second half, number 1, or it might be for season 2. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Because I usually don't watch the intros anymore.
Got it.
I mean, I do once.
Yeah. All right, so season 1, episode 1. Let me just see because I'm curious here.
For what?
Mashal.
Oh, you want to hear his talking?
No. I wanted to see if it was. Oh yeah, audio. They have it. Yeah, it's all in English.
Yeah, I watched it all in English the first season.
Okay. Well, I can at least watch the first season until the English dub for the second season comes out. I guess
comes out.
Maybe, I don't know. Well, maybe I'll just have to watch it and just get caught up, and then that way we can do an episode about it.
Yeah.
So cool. Because I would like to. I mean, obviously this is your show, but I mean, it would be cool to do more anime reviews of like whole shows now that I can like watch them.
Right.
So yeah, I'd be down.
Right.
So anyways, all right. Well, so that was it.
Yep. Any closing remarks?
Closing remarks. Check out all our other podcasts at GameRageMagazine.com. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine. Well, those are Instagram and TikTok. Twitter's Game Rage Mag. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Anything else?
Yeah.
You want to pause it?
No, I say the button for the theme song.
Yeah, it's right here. I just faded in.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say too.
Oh, okay.
So I guess I'll leave with this. This has been your report. And go out and spread good, agents.